Welcome to the Denasha Harrison Show here on Intellectual Radio. Thank you all for joining me tonight. It's great to be here once again. 708 intellectualradio.com. This is the platform that we are on right now. This is what we're talking about tonight. We're going to talk about condolences to the Amos family. Talk about that wonderful show that was on before this one. Man, Elevated Vibes. They were really hitting a nail on the head about a lot of things concerning politics and deportation, a whole lot. And we're just going to chop it up a little bit. Won't be before you long, but I would just like to thank you once again for the support that you all have given the Denasha Harrison Show. 708-223-8953. You can also go to 224-800-9719 and just show your love as you continue to do so. Show your support as you continue to do so. I've seen that more people have subscribed to intellectualradio.com. I've seen that more people have subscribed to the show. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for the support. Thank you for supporting a wonderful platform where there's one big family. There's no me or them. There's no big eyes or little U's. Everybody's one show, one family. So I really do appreciate you all um, supporting the show and supporting the platform. Condolences to Shannon and Casey Amos for the loss of their father, John Amos. We appreciate you sharing your father with us for so many years. One of the greatest TV dads that ever lived. John Amos, may you rest in power, rest in peace. Always, I had a wonderful opportunity to get to know the Amos family through Shannon Amos. We met a few years ago. I reached out because there was a health and wellness program that I was attempting to put together, and we've known each other ever since. So I know that she loves her family very much. She loved her father very much and will continue to love her father very much. And just shout out to the family. Just my family's here for your family. If you ever need us, we know that you're going to have a lot of time, not only because of the loss of such a great person, but because of the press of all the people who have gotten to know you um, and know your family throughout all the years. So I wish you strength. I wish you peace as you go through such a trying time because of your father's transition. So um, God bless you and your family. And again, my condolences. Um, about the show prior to this one, there was a lot. I was taking notes. They talked about the lies concerning deportation, Japanese internment camps. They talked about the Trail of Tears. Talked about the family separations that have not only gone on throughout the previous administrations, but also throughout the history of America. They talked about a lot. So I want to touch a little bit on that. Again, shout out to Elevated Vibes. Wonderful show. I learn a lot every time those brothers get on and discuss uh, some of the topics of the day and even take us on the trip for history lessons. So I really appreciate what they bring to the platform, what they bring to the table concerning their show. Um, when we talk about the Republicans of today, concerning this presidential race, uh, we're talking about a lot of compromises. I've witnessed a lot of compromises just through all the rhetoric from Congress folks, senators, um, the former president, number 45, I believe. Um, there's been a lot of compromise concerning the idea of democracy. January 6th is an example. Um, not a lot of commitment to integrity as far as the difference of ideas, but simply uh, one way or the other way. And I just want everyone to understand. I want everybody to understand that when you hear of folks who are running for office talk about how this election is going to make a huge difference when in regards to democracy, in regards to the way of life, it's going to make a huge difference. I would say that they're probably correct. Uh, Project 2025 is a real situation, a real thing that will retard a lot of things that are for um, that are for the people here in America. Take a look at the facts that are out there that are on the table and make an informed decision when you vote in November. Uh, I don't believe it's a joke. I don't believe that it's something to take lightly. I don't believe that casting your vote away um, uh, just because you really don't believe in what you're doing or staying at home because you don't want to get engaged. I don't think that you should take that lightly. I think you should really take the time out to do your homework, do your research, and make an informed decision based on the facts before you cast your vote. Uh, I think it's very crucial that we pay attention to not only the presidential race that's going on right now, but a lot of the local races that are going on right now. It's a lot of work to get out there in front of people and talk to people who you've never met, who never have met you, who don't know you, um, who don't trust you because they have a trust issue, to try to talk to people and convince them that you want to do um, better than the current elected officials, or that you have some ideas that have not come into fruition based on the last person that told them about the ideas that never came into fruition. It's really hard to move forward and convince people who have been through so much that you're going to make a difference in a positive way, that you're going to be something different from the current administration or the administration before. Speaking about local politics, speaking about my run for trustee, it's really hard convincing people that you're going to bring something different to the table. And time again, you let people know where you're coming from. You let people know um, your views and your ideas and your opinions. But everybody has an opinion. Everybody has an idea. So how do you get over the top? How do you break through? How do you show someone without even having a track record in that community? How do you show them that you can truly make a difference, especially if they've been through so much and they feel jaded because of the local politics, or they feel like they've been burnt because they've trusted people over and over again? And for me, I would just say that you really, really do have to have a spiritual compass, and that you really have to believe and lean on your beliefs. You have to believe in God and you have to lean on those beliefs, because at the end of the day, the meter is going to be moved based on what your destiny is. The meter is going to be moved based on God taking you the rest of the way. When you feel like you can't knock on another door, or when you feel like you can't say another word about how you feel like you're going to have the rubber meet the road, you got to give it up to God. You got to put it in God's hands. That does not mean that you don't continue to put in the work. If you believe, the word says faith without works is dead. So if you out there getting it in, really, leaving it all out there, uh, you got to let God carry you the rest of the way. Between now and uh, April of 2025, there's a race in Dalton, Illinois, where I'm running for trustee. Cassandra Hobson Jordan's running for mayor. I believe that we are going to win because I believe that we have the best intentions for the people of Dalton in mind. I don't have a hell of heaven to put the trustees in, or the current mayor, Tiffany Henyard, in. I don't have a hell of heaven to put them in. I look at the facts. And when you have a lot of people that are asking for more questions to be answered than they have questions answered, I believe that's a problem. If you got a rabbit that you need to pull out of the hat, the time to pull it out the hat is now, to shut everybody up that feel like you're doing something that you should not be doing. And I'm talking about the mayor currently, and I'm talking about the trustees. It seems like everybody's kind of putting their cards on the table prior to the election season, the election cycle. I must admit, change takes time. They were talking about the repeal attempt a few years ago. It's taken a long time to get, the wheels turning and things moving in a direction to where you're finally seeing some things come into play. So coincidentally, it's about this time that things have been revealed, that I can understand. because I know that when it comes to legislation and when it comes to undoing what's been done, especially if it's a vote from the people, by the people to put somebody in office, that things don't happen overnight. Now, with that, I also believe that some things that could have been revealed a long time ago were held close to the chest for political reasons, and I just don't think that's right. I'm not in the seat, so uh, I don't know everything that's going on, but I do know that when a people is informed, the people is empowered. And if you inform the people about what's going on while it's going on, then it empowers them to make informed decisions and not be guessing about what's going on with their community, what's going on with their tax dollars, what's going on with the legislative body that's supposed to be representing them. All the stuff that you see on YouTube and social media, other social media platforms about all this arguing and bickering back and forth. You got people in their 60s, 70s, that's ready to fist fight. Law enforcement ready to fist fight, the mayor ready to fist fight, trustees. It's ridiculous. And we, as folks who were brought up, we as in, I believe the majority of people in Dalton, folks who were brought up to respect your elders. Some of y'all elders make it really hard to show um, to show compassion towards your cause when you are uh, putting yourself in that role or that position to be disrespectful. Um, and we understand the frustration. Um, I can understand the anger, but I believe that we can find a different way. We can find a different path to yes, as a community, whether somebody's stealing, whether somebody's lying, whatever position there is, inform yourself with the facts and vote responsibly. I believe that a vote that's cast irresponsibly, is a very detrimental situation, very detrimental way of doing things. I talked earlier about, January 6th, briefly, how I believe that Republicans are willing to compromise the idea of democracy. Because again, democracy is, and I believe will always be, uh, a, an idea where laws are made and um, things are put into place to govern people. I do not believe that America has had an amazing track record about how we've done fellow Americans and how we've done people all over the world. I do not believe that it's simply a matter of right and wrong. I believe that it comes down to the interest of our country over other countries. And sometimes you cannot put that in a box of right or wrong. You can't sell it as right or wrong. We don't know everything that's going on with with the politics that our country gets involved in around the world, but we do know the black and white of things concerning women and children being killed, concerning, and I'm talking about Israel and Palestine. I don't touch on it much because I'm not there. And I see what I see, and common sense is what it is. As a retired Marine, I've learned to reserve a lot of my emotions and opinions about what the news shows because I've been in a position to, um, I have been put in positions that have taken me away from home for long periods of time. And I've seen and I've experienced what I have and others have done. And I've seen how the news has twisted that to make it seem like something totally different. But what I do know is that, from my perspective, it's very disproportionate about how Palestinians are being treated. It's very disproportionate about how the rules are being enforced towards Israel and towards compared to what's going on towards Israel and Palestine. The rules are not uh, being dealt out and governed fairly. I can observe that and I understand that. And again, I'm not on the ground. But at the same time, I believe that everybody can agree that it's not okay to um, kill innocent people when there may be other options on the table of the how to's. You're backed by our country with wonderful technologies that can probably help you walk the dog on how you can be a little bit more strategic, a little bit more specific in your targeting. And I just believe that it's very disgusting that the world stands by and stands back while women and children are indiscriminately being slaughtered. I think that's important to highlight because when we look at the policies that exist in our country, we um, we need to make sure that we make those informed decisions. Um, I believe we have a call coming in. Hello, welcome to the Nasha Harrison Show. Hello, is there a caller there?
Yes, sir. Hello?
Hello, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good, I'm good.
Good. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Anthony,
Hey, how you
um,
doing?
hey, from Gary.
Good, good. What's going on? What's on your mind?
I just wanted to talk a little bit to Denasha Harrison.
Okay, well, you're talking to him. What's going on?
What's up, man?
All is well.
What? Just talking about the last time we was at the venue over there on Madison Street.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, we're talking about politics right now, talking about what's going on with Israel and Palestine right now. We can take a quick break and find out what's going on with you. I know the last time, and for those of you who don't know, um, not the last show, but I believe a couple of shows back, we were at a venue. I believe it was called TNT Rooftop Restaurant on Madison Street, and very wonderful venue, very wonderful space. And for those of you who know the West Side of Chicago, it's uh, it's how can I put it? It's it's a I'm lost for words right now. It's a wonderful space to be in that part of town. I'll put it that way. So about that venue, I know we talked about your business. We talked about how you've been expanding, how you've been blessed with more contracts. And actually, after the show, we talked a little bit more about how things are going on with you and your business. So, is that something that you want to talk about? You want to talk a little bit about that?
We can talk about a little of that.
Okay, so talk about it.
Yeah, well, like I say, it's an up and going uh, business, and that's why I named it Up and Going because it's up and going, and basically that's what we do. We get up and we get on the go. So people need to really think about it because a lot of people go to the dry cleaners.
Okay,
They have
so
they have
you have a dry cleaning business called Up and Going. It's actual
up and
mobile
going.
business, right?
It's a mobile dry cleaners, and a lot of people think that I have the uh, dry cleaning machines in the van when they see it. I have to tell them no. It's a mobile dry cleaners that comes pick up your cleaning and bring it to the cleaners and bring it back to you.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, we really appreciate you uh, from day one, your support. What number can they reach you at?
I can be reached at.
Are you still there?
Hello. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to share the
Yeah.
number for your business?
Yeah. I can be reached at 1-800. I'm sorry, 219-200-2400.
Did you say 209-200-2400?
219-200-2400.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I
That's the
appreciate.
number that they can reach me at, and they will get a call back.
Okay, sounds good. How's things going? How's your business? How's things going so far for you?
The business is still moving. It's still building, still reaching out, trying to get new venues, get new areas, but it's still going.
Okay.
Um,
And I know we talked about you having a couple of more contracts that actually came online for yourself. You want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I got a couple of more banquet halls. I really target banquet halls. It's getting like the busy season, you know, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, all that's coming up. But um, I do target banquet halls a lot. I got a couple more of them, and but it's really nothing like having the people, you know, where you can uh, be in touch and contact with the people in the neighborhood. So I love the businesses that I do uh, get, but I'm also looking forward to getting residents so I can ease their day going back and forth to the cleaners.
Okay. Well, I know I do benefit from the business. I have a lot going on. For those who know me, um, the the argument that I always get from the people who care is that, hey, you got a lot going on. You need to cut something in your day. But I do have a lot going on, and I do appreciate having the you know having the service that you do provide, because it's just as easy as me, stuffing a bag and setting some time up for you to come scoop the bag, and the drop off pickup. I can testify to the service. It's a wonderful service. Since you've been up and going, I have been using the service, and I really do want everybody to know that it is a wonderful service. It's a very convenient service, and if you are busy like I am, you definitely can benefit from using the service, like Anthony McMath. So we really appreciate the call, and I
I
appreciate
appreciate you.
what you do all the time. I appreciate you actually supporting the show from way back. Wasn't that long ago, but it seems like it was that long
Mm.
ago, actually. But I really appreciate you supporting the show. So thank you very much for the call.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good evening.
You too.
All right. That was Anthony McMath from for Up and Going Cleaning Services. 219-200-2400. 219-200-2400 is the number that you can reach him at. And it is a wonderful service. And I'm actually glad that the call came exactly when it called, because that was a wonderful break from the conversations that we were having concerning, the rules with Israel and Palestine. So, uh, I believe that it's important to have businesses that are people based businesses, businesses that are people based. They are on the ground. They see what's going on in the community. They get a feel for what's going on in the community. They have their pulse on the community. And whether it's a cleaning service, law enforcement, um, restaurants, people based services can do a community very well. Um, which brings me back to the place that I live. In that community, a lot of people do very well regarding their neighbors. The communication I see is kind of old school. I know on my block, um, on the block over from me, I believe the street's called Ingleside, Dobson. That area, the neighbors do very well by caring for one another. This community needs to be supported by businesses who feel the same way. The businesses that need to come to the community of Dalton need to be a reflection of the values of the community. And that's one of the things out of many that I and others are working on to ensure that um, companies come into a place like Dalton to be a reflection of all the things that are good in Dalton. Again, people are tired of what they're seeing back and forth on social media. People who don't even live in Dalton are tired of seeing it, because the majority of people that you see are people that look like me. You know, um, the majority of people that you see are black and brown people not getting along. And that's one thing that we don't need. We already have too much going on against us, and we already have too many stereotypes going on against us. And I believe that we have always had the solution. I believe that we have always been forward leaning for peace, forward leaning concerning communication, concerning family. We just allow these things to get in our way, and I don't believe we should. So, um, big ups to companies like Up and Going that is a community based business that services the community. And he didn't get into it, but he does more than just dry cleaning. And what I mean by that is the different things that he sponsors. Not only does he sponsor businesses like um, or shows like mine, but there's other things in the community that he does sponsor. So when you give him a call at 219-200-2400, don't just ask him to pick up your stuff. Pick his brain about a lot of things. Very wise brother, very wise family member, and I appreciate all that he continues to do for my show. Um, Speaking of businesses, actually, I'm going to go to a quick music break, and then when I come back, we're going to talk about something that I got going on the side. So you're listening to the Denasha Harrison Show. I'll be right back, and thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting. God's gonna trouble water. You ain't got enough money to buy my soul. Ain't strong enough to stop me. I'm out of control. This the matrix, I'm Neo. I know that I know. I am that I am. That's why I speak so bold. On the verge of losing hope, I know where to go. Switch my style from singing vocals to magical flows. Study the streets a little closer. One with the ghetto. Got wise as I got older. Unloaded the metal. New millennium rebel. After that federal dollar. Balance the world on my shoulders. I know my soldiers will follow me at war. Cause kids still dying in the streets at war. On the block running from the police at war. In the US, this ain't the Middle East at war. With the problems in my own community and the swore. If the only way to fight an enemy, Lord, save my father from this bottom of Hennessy. What more can I give? I'm giving all of me, and for real, it's only getting hotter for me. Harder to see and harder to breathe. And there's only one remedy. I gotta be smarter than my enemies. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Now wade in the water. God's in trouble. I'm being chased by demons, the triple team, exposed to false religions. I'm hated by jealous niggas that don't want. Welcome back to the Denasha Harrison Show here on Intellectual Radio, where we feed our brains. So 708-223-8953 is the number to call. If you're just joining me before the break, we had Anthony McMath call, so I appreciate the call. And we were talking about his service, his business, his cleaners, what it does. He's a mobile cleaning service. He does service the northern Indiana area and the south suburbs here in Chicago. And wonderful business. I am a customer of the business, and it is a very convenient service. When you don't have to go back and forth to the cleaners, you can just go ahead and have him drop your stuff off to you. He can pick it up wherever you are. So try to take advantage of a service if you're in the area. Again, 219 200 2400 is the number that you can reach him at. Before going to the break, I said that I was going to talk about, when we came back, something that I got going on. So today, I would like to announce that Shy Cali Collections is now in business. Shy Cali Collections is my shoe line. And so if you look on my Facebook, and there will be other platforms that I put the shoe line on, I'm in a partnership with Alive Shoes. So Alive Shoes and myself has collaborated in creating a shoe line. And so now this is how it works. When I meet a certain threshold to get these shoes up and running, then I can go into the other styles. So take a look on my Facebook page. My Facebook is Denasha Harrison. You'll see a shoe that I designed and I premiered it today. So again, Shy Cali Collections, that is the name of the company, designs by Denasha Harrison. And get on and order your shoes, help support this brother's business. as I continue to serve the community with wonderful designs, wonderful shoes. Right now, I am focusing on the athletic shoe. After a while, when I get that up and going, we're going to go ahead and transition into children's shoes, different styles of shoes for um, children, and then we'll go into other types of shoes. So, but right now, I wanted to hold true to the basketball tradition um, for the city of Chicago and Cali. So, Chi Cali, that's what it's from, and produce a good shoe. So, order your shoes. Let me know what you think. Take a look. Let me know what you think. And hopefully, we'll be talking about this um, every show. So we want to get the name out, want to get the brand out, and please support this local business. So I want to tell you a little bit about the name Shy Cali. Shy Cali is actually um, the family business, Shy Cali Cuts. So Shy Cali Cuts is located out in the Southern California area, primarily Oxnard, California. Calvin Harrison is the owner, creator of Shy Cali Cuts. So you have these wonderful barbershops. There's a barber college as well out there teaching people the life skills that they need to not only cut hair, not only service, um, you know, not only to do hygienic hygienic services, but they also teach, you know, um, life lessons as well. Um, Different types of things that you normally won't get from your average business. So not only do you learn how to style or cut hair, you also learn um, how to manage your health, how to manage your finances. So there's a lot of services available under Shy Cali Cuts, and I spoke with my brother Kelvin Harrison about the name and decided that it was time to do a shoe line so that we can go ahead and place those shoes with the apparel line that the family has been dipping a little bit into the business of as well. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that um, we give people an opportunity to have a well-rounded um, concept of how to handle the business and look good doing it. So I've been flirting around with a shoe line now for almost 2 years. And for those of you who know me, you know I touched on this before, but the timing just wasn't right. I believe the time is right now because if you're a jack of all trades and a master of none, it's still better than a master of one. So for those of you who don't know the full phrase, that's the phrase. We hear a lot of people say jack of all trade, but master of none. But if you're a jack of all trades and a master of none, that's still better than a master of one. Now, I don't want to be a jack of all trades and a master of none of them at all, just dipping into this or dipping into that. So I've decided to start my journey on being a master of all the trades that I'm putting my hand to. At the end of the day, you're either going to do or you're not. And if you always find yourself caught in the middle, then you're probably marking time and not accomplishing much. So we've all been there. Some of us are there now. And I would just like to encourage each and every one of you to try not to mark time so much because time winds up and you can't get it back. You know, some of us are in the third quarter of our lives, most of us are in the fourth quarter of our lives. And, hopefully we will get a lot of overtime while we're in the fourth quarter of our lives. But you have to take a look at all the accomplishments that you've made and all the other accomplishments that you want to continue to reach for and make. You should always have a goal. First, second, third, fourth quarter, you should always have a goal. And I want to encourage you all to take a look at some of the things that you have accomplished that you probably forgotten about. If you haven't accomplished much and you're still reaching towards those goals, understand that if you're hearing my voice or if you know of someone who has woke up this morning, they're 10 toes down and 6 feet above ground, they still have an opportunity to reach their goals. It doesn't always take money initially. What it does take is a vision. It takes that vision, It takes the support of those within your circle. Remember, I always talk about your circle, whether it's large or small, it should be providing for you as well as receiving from you. So take a look at your circles, take a look at the visions that you have, the concepts that you might want to put together to structure what it is that you want to do, and go for it. The money will come somehow, some way. I don't know what your situation is. I don't know how your pockets look. I'm not trying to get in anyone's pocket. I don't want anybody in my pocket. But I believe that it's important to have a vision, because when you have the vision, the provisions will come. And I believe that I'm on the right path, not only with this business, but other things that are to come. And as things progress with this shoe line, I'll talk about the other things that I'm dealing with. What I don't want to do is I don't want to talk about things before they actually start to happen. What I would like to do is I would like to include you all on things once they do start to happen so that you all can partake in what's going on. One thing that I've learned is to not get ahead of yourself with sharing different opinions and ideas about things that you haven't had the rubber meet the road on yet. Things change. And with this shoe line that's currently out, Shy Cali Collections, things might change along the way, but I've decided to stick with it. And I hope that all of you who have supported me in the past on some things and who supported me now on the radio show and on other endeavors that I have going on, I hope that you're with me on the journey when it comes to my shoe line as well. So I expect great things from that and other things. And again, I will bring you in on that. So, but the name Shy Cali, that came from my brother and his love for basketball. His number one player is Michael Jordan, and I believe his number two is probably Kobe Bryant. So, uh, born and raised in Chicago, found himself out there in California, and decided to put the name Shy Cali together. And that's how you got Shy Cali Cuts. That's how you have Shy Cali Collections. And we have other ventures that we're doing as a family, and it's working really well. If anybody tells you that you cannot work with family, I'd ask you to to have them take another look at that. Um, if you don't get along with family, it just doesn't make sense to work with them. I get that. If you do get along with family, you know your family very well, then you know that there's a moral compass there that you can depend on. Whether it's a little money or a lot of money, people might be under stress because they might need more than they have. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't trade my family for anything, not millions and millions of dollars. Um, it's been proven that through our journey with business, through our journey with family, that we've always stuck together. And with the family ventures that we have going on now, I wouldn't have anybody but my family at the helm of some of these ventures that we have going on. I know my family and they know me. So they know my strengths and they know my weaknesses. I know their strengths and weaknesses. And I believe that throughout the journeys that we've been on, whether social situations or business situations, we've all learned patience from one another because we've tried each other's patience for years, and we understand the importance of communication. We understand the importance of patience, and we understand that no one has all the answers within that circle. And so, if you have a family member that you have a great relationship with, don't be afraid to venture out and do business with that family member. It can be your biggest strength. Now, if you know your family own one and they ain't about that life or about that business, then don't hope that they will change once you incorporate them in your business ventures. I believe that that can be a formula for disaster. But if you have family members and you recognize their strengths and you can recognize what they can bring to the and you recognize what they can bring to the table, then I believe it just makes sense to incorporate your family with your business because they have your best interest in mind. And so I'm happy to be in business with my family, and I'm looking forward to doing more business, scaling up, doing greater numbers, and just continuing to thrive in this life. Again, a lot of people want to know what the meaning of life is, and I believe that you've already discovered the meaning of life because you're here living life. Now, how you add to that life is up to you. If you want to thrive and do ABC or XYZ, Those are the choices that you've been given the opportunity to make. But life itself can be a blessing. It can be a blessing and it can be a curse. But that's not up to anybody but us. That's up to you if your life is going to be a blessing or a curse. It can be heaven or hell right here on earth because life and life itself is that gift that you were given. So a lot of us, unfortunately, have been taught that after this life, it will be a better life. That may be the case, but the question is, what are you doing with this life right now? And I believe it's really important for us to recognize as creations, as believers, if you believe that there's something bigger than you, if you believe that there's something that created you, if you believe that there's something um, out there that has your best interest in mind, that's bigger than you, then I believe that you got to come to the realization that your life is worth more than the world says it is. Um, if it's up to the world, you get squeezed and you get taken to the bank every time. Because although the world does not care, uh, um, they're carrying people in the world. And although the world does not recognize uh, your worth sometimes or your contributions sometimes, they cannot see the commitments that you make or willing to make. If you recognize that within you and you have a circle that recognizes that from you and you recognize that in others that are in your circle, you're going to be okay. You're going to be all right. So if you're living for the world, then the world's going to eat you up. Um, the streets are undefeated. And I believe that the only thing that stays consistent is change. I believe that the lessons that you need to learn out there uh, in the streets are lessons that can be very unforgiving. So if you feel like you run in the streets or if you feel like you own the streets, you're going to be proven wrong. The streets are undefeated. So you can learn from the streets. You can even live in the streets. You can grow up in the streets. But if you think you're going to run the streets, then that's unfortunate for you because the streets are undefeated. I say that because I think it's important for people to focus on what can make positive changes in their lives. There's life lessons out there that you won't get from a book. There's life lessons out there that you won't get from the church house, the schoolhouse. There's even life lessons that you won't get from your family's house. There's life lessons that are out there um, in the streets that you can benefit from. But with that, there always has to be a moral compass inside of you. There always has to be that voice. There always has to be that reason, that voice of reason. You need a balance in order to get to go through this life and go through successfully. And again, it starts with you. I'm thankful for all the people who continue to contribute to my life in the positive and in some cases in the negative. I'm thankful because there's always a lesson. There's always a lesson to be learned. And so if you're a glass half full type of person, then I believe that you can recognize more quickly the lessons that can be learned, even if somebody brings something in front of you that's not so positive. And again, it's up to you. In spite of what's not fair, in spite of what's not right, um, we have to check ourselves daily. We have to subdue certain passions and certain feelings about how we want to do people or how we want to retaliate. Sometimes we have to subdue those passions because uh, it would benefit us best if we navigate this life as smart as we can, as successful as we can, as happy as we can, and as onward and upward thinking as we can. It's worked for me, but it hasn't only worked for me. It's worked for people that I've seen um, do positive things with this life. It's worked for people that were here way before me, and it's going to work for people that are here way after I'm gone, way after you're gone. So let's talk about the legacy that you leave for those people that's going to be here way after you're gone. Let's talk about the legacy that people have left for you before they left and they transitioned. So let's recognize that. It might not have been a real big fat bank account. It might not have been, a whole lot of properties or a whole lot of things, but there's some type of legacy that your loved ones have left with you that you can reach back and you can benefit from that lesson. There's strength in those memories. There's strength in those sayings. There's strength in those different occasions, those reunions, those situations that you found yourself in, and that family member helped lead you and guide you. And even if it wasn't a family member, if you've grown up without family, that Mrs. Ross on the corner, um, that Miss Sadie up the street, the Miss Jones across the street, somebody was put in your life to lead and guide you in a righteous direction so that you can have a balance in your life to make better choices, not only during that time, but at this time. So if that loved one is no longer here, that loved one still left you with a legacy where you can utilize and be a better person or help someone be a better person because of it. Um, so take that for what it's worth. Hopefully you can apply it. Always stay positive, always move forward, always look at how you can fulfill the things that you touch on there every now and then. Again, I want to be a master of all the trades that I've been a jack of for so long. I've been a jack of all trades for a long time. And now it's time to get things put in a priority position, get some things, you know, beefed up, and let some things go. Things that are not giving me a return, I'm not too excited to continue to be a part of those things. So my fund meter's pegged on those type of things. It's time to get down to business. It's time to move forward, and it's time to build a legacy that's not only a spiritual one, but a monetary one as well. So um, I really do appreciate all the support that you give here on the Denasha Harrison Show. 708-223-8953 is the number to call. Um, the Intellectual Radio platform, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. If you feel that you have the means to donate to any show, whether it's my show, the Denasha Harrison Show, or any other show you want to get information about donating, you can always call or look on the site. Support small black businesses, support medium black businesses, support large black businesses, and support businesses that have your interests in mind. Just because it's not a black business does not mean that they don't have black folk in mind. So support any business that's going to support you and your household. However, take a look at black businesses first because we need that footing that other businesses don't need. We need that footing that we never had. We never had the support of the business world to get into business. So if we're into business as black folk, we need black folk support. And for all you businesses out there that's dependent on black support or any other support, we need you to do folk right. We need you to do people right. Just because you open as a black business don't mean that the quality should be less. Don't mean that the product should be less. Don't mean that the rules and regulations concerning, how you do your business should be less. Don't give your people less because they're giving more to you. So if you don't want to give a good service, then you should not be supported. So don't just assume because of the strength of your skin color that you have a right to be supported. If you're doing good quality service and good business and you have us in mind, then we should support you. So I'm gonna leave it on that note. I'm glad that you all continue to support the Denasha Harrison Show. Next Wednesday, I will be here. If the levee don't break and the creek don't rise, we'll see you again on the Denasha Harrison Show here on Intellectual Radio. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for the time that you spend here with us, and we will see you next time on the show. Thank you.